Limerick lace is embroidery on net. The net is cotton, in most cases, white cotton netting with little hexagons, and the embroidery is done with white cotton thread, number 50 cotton thread. And there's all kinds of brands available. So just whatever is most convenient. And patterns generally consist of the flora and fauna of Ireland. So this is a video to accompany the beginner's Limerick Lace Kit from the Friends of Lace. And we have a little pattern here. And we're trying to teach the very basics of making Limerick lace. Now, the first step is, you might see here, we have a hoop, then it needs to go into the hoop. And the hoop we have is covered. So we start out with an ordinary wooden hoop that is quite widely available. And we have some strips of, this is curtain lining, and it's cut on the bias. It's diagonally cut, so the grain runs like this, so that it would stretch, and we cover the hoop with it. And the reason why we do that is oftentimes wooden hoops have little snags that could damage the net, but also a covered hoop will hold the netting tighter because the net's quite fine. And a lot of hoops don't get a good grip on it. But if you cover it with some cotton, it basically is easier for the work. And the way you do it, this is the inside of the hoop. You wrap it around the hoop. You can get some pins to pin it on to hold it in place. But as you see, the way I wrap it is that the seam where I will close it is here on the inside of the hoop. So when I assemble the hoop, it points away from the inside. And with the outer part of the hoop, I will do it exactly the opposite. So the outer hoop, the seam is on the outside, inner hoop seam is on the inside. That way it doesn't get too thick. There isn't too much material where the two hoops meet together. And like I said, it just makes it easier to work. And here you can see, this is a fully covered hoop. And now there is a special way of putting the net into the hoop. This is what the net looks like. We have hexagons. And the needle can show which way they line up. But you don't have your usual vertical and horizontal as you do with woven fabrics on the netting. Rather than running in two directions, it runs into three directions. And with some filling stitches, that is an important matter. So it doesn't matter always, but with certain filling stitches, it makes a difference. So when you put it into the hoop, make sure it is nice and tight. Your screw should run parallel with the direction of the net. So it should be nice and firm and bouncy. Okay? So now the net is inside the frame.